Well, hello everybody. This is Salvador Liberto, and I'm calling this game for you from the NORCAM studios in scenic North Reading. And we've got ourselves an exciting matchup, the Super Bowl between the North Reading Hornets and the Big Blue of Swampscott. Crowd is in full throat. You can hear them here at Gillette Stadium. And this game, of course, brought to you by NORCAM, which is right across the street from the library here in scenic North Reading. Team's about to take the field, and there are the Hornets. Great season for the Hornets this year. Just a dominant showing as they cycled through the schedule. We'll talk a good bit about that as we move through this telecast. They'll be taking on the Big Blue of Swampscott, no stranger to these Super Bowl games. We'll start with the national anthem. There we go, crowd in full throat off the performance by the North Reading High School band. They sounded really nice there. Great season for the band as they've put in some really crisp performances at halftimes and have done very well in their performance championships, their competitions that they've had through the year under direction of Ben Owens. Mr. Owens does a really nice job leading the band, inspiring young boys and girls in many grade levels. Well, we are close to getting this football game underway. Each team comes in with one loss. Magical season. One loss for the Big Blue for Swampscott was, in fact, last week, the Thanksgiving game against Marblehead, their crosstown rival. North Reading had a tough game against Linfield, but was able to pull it out at the very end, the Hornets beating Linfield on Thanksgiving. The only blemish on the North Reading schedule was against Amesbury, a game they lost very late, 30-28. It was a safety that decided that one on October 15th, but the Hornets have been undefeated before and since then, and this Hornets team comes in with a strong steam head of steam, I should say, having defeated Pentucket Regional in the game that got them here, the Manning Bowl, that pushed them to the championship. Big Blue will kick it off to North Reading to start the festivities, and will soon be underway in the Super Bowl, a hotly contested, highly anticipated game. And the ball is in the air and the game is underway, and it's scooped up at the 20-yard line, and North Reading's going to have the ball at about the 30. Rubino brought it forward. First down for the Hornets, and we'll get to see that explosive attack. It's a team that scores an awful lot of points, and they often do it in a hurry. North Reading averages about 13 points per first quarter alone, and so we'll see if they can push forward with that kind of momentum. Unfortunately, they're facing a defense that is very stingy and tends to give up about 13 points per game. So we'll see how this plays out. First down for North Reading at the 31, we'll call it. Quarterback is Alexander Carucci. And we'll correct the positioning. Ball's on the 26. Here's a flip. Running wide, and there's nothing there. There's nothing there on the first play of the game. Number 6, Will Batten, had the pitch. And good pressure there by the Big Blue. And they really are going to make life difficult for this rushing attack for North Reading. That is what the statistics would suggest. So North Reading is going to have to move the ball through the air for the most part today, although they should have some openings in the run game. Maybe if they run wide, maybe use some of that speed, but in terms of power, it'll be very difficult. Second down and 13 for the Hornets as we're just underway here in the Super Bowl. You can hear that crowd very active and excited early in this one, which is always a great sign. A lot of passion in Gillette Stadium tonight. They will run the ball, and there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Maybe a yard to the 25. And that was Batten with the carry again off the handoff of Carucci. So let's see what the Hornets do here on a third down. On a third down. .25-yard line, right hash mark. 3 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right, so no one in the backfield with Carucci. He looks and eases a throw out here, and it is caught. That appears to be McCullough across the 30. He'll get to the 33, but no further, and it will be a fourth down. Ryan McCullough, very reliable receiver, star player, a senior on this squad, so this will be his last game as a Hornet, which is such a shame, such a productive and tremendous player over his career. If you look at the North Reading roster, not a ton of seniors, enough to have a strong influence on the season, but perhaps not enough to worry oneself if you think about what's going to happen in 2022. Here's the punt. It's away. Nice punt. Ball bounces at the 28 and then leaks its way inside the 20 to the 17 and a half or so, maybe the 18. And that's where the Big Blue will set up shop. And so that is a very strong punt by North Reading to flip field position in the early going of this one. So North Reading goes 3 and out on their first possession. Now the Big Blue take over. And what kind of offense can we expect from them? It's an efficient passing offense. They can throw the ball down the field when they have to, but more often it's going to be intermediate and short routes. And they run the ball beautifully. This is a team that can run the football on anybody, and they have done so all season long. Watch out for Zavia Bascon, number 2. He is a star. He is a star on this team, a senior, and he set all kinds of records for the Big Blue. First down, the quarterback is O'Brien, and they give the ball to Bascon, and he's going to get dropped in the backfield. Look at that play by the Hornets as they stack him up, a bevy of green on top of the star Bascon. They spot the ball at the 14-yard line, and that is a loss of 3 on the play. Call it 4. We'll say the start was the 18, and they trap him at the 14, a 4-yard loss to start off the game for Swampscott on offense, and North Reading's got to be thrilled with that. Second down at 14 from the 14, and O'Brien will go shotgun. O'Brien's a big football player, 6 feet tall, about 200 pounds. Here's a throw over the middle, and it's just too high and incomplete, and the intended target hurt on the play, Nachary Davis, slow to get up, and there's a North Reading player who's slow to get up. We'll have to check that. That appears to be Craig Rubino, the strong safety. He's a junior, 5'11", 180 for the Hornets. So unfortunately an injury early on in this one. And we'll check the injury, and hopefully Craig will be okay and be able to return to the game. Some tasteful camera work turning away here. So a rough start from the injury front. The Hornets have set themselves up to force a third down here to this explosive offense. This is a team that can, as we say, they can run the ball. And I think that's going to give us a little bit of concern as we think about what happened in that Thanksgiving game. So North Reading, looks like Rubino's okay. This is great news. North Reading was just run on up and down the field by Linfield. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. Okay, rivalry game, that's just kind of how that works, but it was shocking to watch. I was there in person on the Thanksgiving Day game, and I don't know. Glenfield ran the ball really well, and that does portend badly in this one. So the Hornets are going to have to clamp down against this rushing attack of Swampscott. The question is, can they hold up over the course of 48 minutes? And we'll have to see. I was at that game cheering my daughter Lily Liberto. She's in the color guard. Shout out to Lily, does a great job in the color guard. And then the occasional solo dance, which we love so much. O'Brien from the shotgun rolls to his right. What's he going to do? Fires it over the middle. Pass is caught, but just shy of the first down. Pass got out to the 26-yard line. And that's number 3, Elijah Burns with the catch, a wide receiver, junior, 5'11", 175 for Swampscott. Big guy, but unable to advance the football. And it's 4th down. 12 yards on the play. It'll be 4th down and 2. And Swampscott looks like they're going to punt here. Ball's on the 26. 4th and about 2.5. Need to get to just past the 28-yard line. There's the snap. And here's a left-footed punt high and into the air. Very good punt. Again, bounces inside the 40, and the ball died there at the 39. So 1st down for North Reading. Another good opportunity here in terms of field position. They flip the field on Swampscott on their punt, and then Swampscott's punt doesn't travel quite as far as North Reading's does. And the Hornets have a good spot on the field here to try to work this offense. And you wonder if they'll try to work those bubble screens that they like so much. Hornets are really good at creating space, getting a receiver open, and then using that outsized speed of theirs to make a play down the field. So 1st down for the Hornets. Here comes Carucci and company. Let's see if Alex can deliver a great throw to the sideline or maybe something downfield. Swampscott's hard to run on, but you have to test that rushing opportunity as well. Hornets will run the ball. This is Batten with the carry. Good run across the 45. Batten to the 48-yard line. 9 yards on the play, and here come the Hornets. Here come the Hornets on the brink of midfield. It's a team that can run the ball really well, especially outside. And that time they ran the trap play, and Batten able to make the nice cut and accelerate for 9. You know, it's interesting, a championship game like this, North Reading hasn't been in a game like this since 1979, so obviously there's no muscle memory, there's no institutional memory of such a thing. Here's the 2nd down carry, and it's Batten again, and he's going to be dropped in the backfield. That is a rough 2nd down play as it sets up 3rd down and 3 or 4. But no institutional memory, no memory in the town of participating in these Super Bowls. It's not something North Reading's been able to achieve with this spectacular singular season. It's unique in their history. Swampscott, it's the opposite situation. They've been in the Super Bowl several times in the last few years, and this would be their coach's 2nd championship if they're able to secure it tonight. And you do wonder if some of that historical legacy of some of that experience doesn't benefit the Big Blue, but I don't see a ton of jitters so far for either side. Here's Carucci with the football. He's going to go down. This is essentially a sack. Don't know if that was a designed run or not, but he's unable to make a play, and the thick interior, and you can see how big some of these players are, the Swampscott line rising up to the challenge and denying North Reading, which will now punt from their own 45-yard line. So that's a disappointing end to that opportunity. You have the ball at the 40-yard line, 39-yard line. You figure great chance to move it into Swampscott territory, but they are denied. The punt is away. It's a good punt. Another great punt, a tremendous punt. And this ball is going to die at the 9-yard line. Bascon backed away from it. The star running back for Swampscott that wanted no business with that football. And now they're pinned deep. So North Reading continues to push the football closer and closer to the goal line. And it's just a great job of managing the field position, even though they're not able to move the football on offense just yet in this one. So 1st down, we're about halfway through the 1st quarter here. And Swampscott will have their 2nd possession. North Reading has had a possession. North Reading has had 2 possessions. Swampscott has had a possession. No first downs yet in the game. First down now for Swampscott at their own 8.5-yard line. Shotgun formation for O'Brien. Here's the snap. He will keep it himself. Crosses the 10-yard line. 15, 20, 23-yard line and shoved out of bounds. Let's see where they spot it. Good run by Swampscott. That is a 16-yard gain. 17-yard gain out to the 26-yard line. Good play for Swampscott. And, you know, they're going to get that rushing attack going. And once that gets going, it becomes a little bit of momentum that North Reading's really going to have to answer. Going to have some run blitzes here. Going to have to really push the interior and come in from the exterior to make some plays, close these gaps, and not allow these big running backs for Swampscott to advance. Ball's on the 26 for O'Brien. Cam O'Brien takes the snap, looks, steps up. Now heaves a pass over the middle and a little too high, and that's the theme of the night so far as he tried to hit Elijah Burns, and the pass is no good. And O'Brien has been high on each of his 2 throws thus far in this game. Not a lot of pressure from North Reading, so that's another thing to think about as this game wears on. But these teams seemingly feeling each other out. And we haven't necessarily seen that classic North Reading offense yet. Not a lot of those bubble screams yet. Not a lot of those wide plays. And for Swampscott, they haven't really stayed with the rushing attack, which is their forte. 2nd down and 10. Shotgun formation for the Big Blue. And here's the snap, and O'Brien's going to run again. And he is hit very hard at the 27-yard line. It's only a yard on the play. A bevy of green to make the stop. And it's going to be third down and 9. And that appeared to be Morelli with the leading charge on that tackle for the Hornets. Started off as a defensive struggle in this one. And let's see what happens on this play. A big 3rd down from the 28-yard line as we push toward the later moments of the first quarter. Shotgun for O'Brien. There's the snap. O'Brien will throw. Over the middle. Pass is intercepted by the Hornets. Picked off by the Hornets. Number 2 has it. Craig Rubino. Strong safety, junior. 5'11", 180 for the Hornets. And he makes a great interception. It was as if he was the receiver on the play. And the Hornets take over again in very good field position. Ball's on the 45-yard line for the Hornets. So great season for North Reading coming into this one. As we said, just 1 loss on the year, and that to Amesbury by 2 points. As we cycle through some of the great victories this year. Of course, they beat Northeast Metro in September 49-20, beat Greater Lawrence 46-9, Pentucket Regional 20-0, Ipswich 41-13, Triton Regional 48-7. Ball's on the 45-yard line. There's the snap, and they will run the ball. No, they will throw it. They will throw the pass off the halfback, and the catch down the field. Is that McCullough? I think it is. McCullough made the catch. What a throw. And I believe that was Rubino passing it off the pitch from Carucci. Wow. Did not see that coming. What a great play by North Reading to push deep into Swampscott territory. Unbelievable. A little bit of razzle-dazzle here in the Super Bowl. First down at the 22-yard line. That was exciting. Can the Hornets punch this one in? Let's see what they do on first down at the 22. Shotgun formation. They will run the ball. Ooh, look at Batten inside the 15. Acceleration to the 11-yard line. Size and speed for Batten. I wouldn't want to try to tackle him. And they're going to mark it at the 10. First down, and I think that's first and goal. Depends on exactly where on the 10 they mark it. If it's an inch off the 10, it's first and 10. If it's actually on the line, it's a first and goal, and I think it's on the line. If you look to the far side of the field, you see the chains are down. That would indicate it's first and goal. Carucci from the shotgun. 2 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. And they'll run it with Batten, and he didn't bounce it wide that time. Went straight ahead, got a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So the Hornets well within field goal range, in scoring position here, and the first team to do so. An exciting start. The defense with the interception, and the next play is the halfback throw down the field, and McCullough with a fantastic catch. Definitely challenged on the boundary, but he made the play. And it's 2nd down and goal now for the Hornets at the 9. Play call coming in. Quarterback checking his wristband. And same setup, 2 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. And Batten, the setback next to him. Carucci rolls to his right. Looks to be a design run. Skips inside the 10-yard line. A little bit of speed to about the 5. So the Hornets with a small gain there. Well, 4 yards. And that'll get them to the 5-yard line. And it's 3rd down and goal from there. Ooh, you can feel the anticipation building in the stadium here. The excitement. Can the Hornets get this one in the end zone? The 3rd down and goal here. It's a strong offensive line for the Hornets. They typically get a really good push. They create a lot of separation. Some good zone blocks as well, especially on some of those runs that are designed to cut back or go wide. There's the snap, and it's a flip, and a tackle at the goal line. He does not get in. There's a penalty marker on the play as well. So there was the pass wide. There was the throw to the sideline that almost results in the big play. But this is possibly going to come back because of the penalty. Let's check the flag. Referee's walking away from the spot where the play ended, which would push in the back. So that'll push the ball back. And the Hornets will play it from the 14-yard line, 14 and a half or so. Well, that would have been something to have the ball at basically the goal line, a half yard, a yard away, and then it's a sort of, and you like your chances from a yard out against any defense, really. But now it's 3rd down from the 14. And it makes the play call a little bit more challenging here. You know, do you throw this? Do you try to get half of it and then try to get the other half on 4th down? Do you look to try to get the whole amount now? And timeout by North Reading, and that's a good timeout. Kind of settle things down a little bit and think about what the strategy should be. Well, you look at that. You have that win against Triton Regional for North Reading on October 8th, and then the loss against Amesbury on the 15th. But then they come back and just thump Newburyport. I was at that game, 42-7. Then they beat Hamilton Wenham Regional 42-18. I mean, some of these scores, they just seem like fiction. It's like you just imagine a season where everything went your way. Okay, well, Fairhaven 56-21, Norton 33-6. And then Pentucket Regional, that's the playoff game, or that's the second playoff game where they advanced to this game, the 31-14 game. I guess the 2 prior playoff games were the 33-6 win against Norton and the 56-21 game against Fairhaven. Funny story about the Fairhaven game. It started off a little bit slow, maybe the first or second play, and someone from the Fairhaven crowd screamed, "It's not going to be easy today." And then you look at that result at 56-21. That's a 35-point win. It was pretty easy when it was all said and done. Then you've got the Linfield game on Thursday, and that was a close game. Okay, here we go. Back to live action. 3rd down and goal from the 14 for Carucci and company. Here's the snap. Steps back to throw. Now rolls to his right, and he will run. Crosses the 15 and slammed out of bounds at the 9 or so. And so there's that case of, well, you got about half of it back, a little less than half, and now 4th down, and will you send the field goal unit out? This is going to be about a 26-yard field goal try if they were to attempt it, but from the right hash mark. It's not the most comfortable of angles. probably about a 50% proposition, and now they'll go for it. But against this defense, is this going for it a 50% proposition? We have to think about, these are the things you think about, things maybe you learn in math, and try to discover. Carucci sacked on 4th down. Ooh, that's a rough one. That's a rough one. But if you think about the odds there, you say, well, on the one hand, the field goal try about a 50% chance, but you only get 3 points if you make it, of course. On the other hand, what are the odds of converting that 4th and goal against this defense? Not against a generic defense. I'd say any of these defenses the Hornets have played before this game, yeah, go for it. I think you've got a pretty good chance of getting it. Maybe it's 60%. But what are the odds of converting that against this defense? That's just something to think through. It's a lot easier to do it from here than when you're on the field making those calls. 1st down from the 17.5, 18-yard line or so for Swampscott, who will try to come back after that fumble that they had. Here's a pass by O'Brien behind the intended target, Burns, and no good. And it's 2nd down and 10. And the Hornets defense has been in position. Give them a ton of credit. They have been in position this whole first quarter and have made lots of good plays. You can hear the band in the background sounding good. There you go. A lot of good energy tonight. Great energy here. Just a reminder, this is Salvador Liberto. I'm broadcasting from NORCAM, which is your television station here in North Reading. Participate, be a part of what NORCAM does every day. 2nd down and 10 for the Big Blue. And here's a pitch. Bascon with it, the star. Bascon picking its way, and it'll get a few yards off the left side. To call Swampscott the Big Blue is a bit of a misnomer tonight because they're in all white with just a little bit of blue piping. Cold night tonight. Temperatures mid-30s, may sneak into the low 30s by the end of the game, and it's hard to take a hit when it's cold like that. But these guys, I guess they've been preparing for it all season long. If you've followed the Hornets, you know that they've played in quite a few cold games already as winter is approaching, but autumn's been chilly in spots at night. Ball's on the 21-yard line, 3rd down, and we'll call it 7. And here's O'Brien to throw. Looks, eases the throw out here, and it's caught. It's caught by the wide receiver, number 5, Coda Spotty, and he has a 1st down to the 31-yard line. Good play. Good, solid play. First down for Swampscott as they try to push themselves down the field here. They haven't had any success with that. This must be a very strange feeling for them and the North Reading offense. No score in this contest as we're late in the first quarter. Ball's on the 31. Here's the snap, and he will throw. Rolls to his right, and then it stops and runs a little bit and is sacked on the play. Third down for Swampscott from their own 28-yard line. Officials conferring. It's great to have the officials here tonight. Great to have all the people participating in putting this game on, from the people in the stadium doing security, selling concessions, all the people that make Gillette Stadium run who are here tonight. The officials, of course, the bands that are here, all the parents who have supported their players, and family members, and the list goes on and on. This doesn't just happen with the players on the field. Third down. Make that second down. Second down. O'Brien with the ball, and he fumbles, and the North Reading Hornets recovered at the 26-yard line. North Reading recovers the fumble. Ball popped out, and it was Morelli with the recovery. And look at this, the Hornets with golden field position once again. Wow. Credit the Hornets. They have played a mighty first quarter on defense. Swampscott has not penetrated. I don't believe they've moved the ball past their own 30-yard line. Wow. You know, if you look at the two rosters, sort of compare the sizes of these players side to side, you know, Swampscott is the bigger team. They are the bigger team. They're a little bit taller and a little bit heavier. So let's keep an eye on that, and hopefully North Reading's conditioning will keep up. First down of the 26, 4 wideouts in the game for Carucci, who will throw, and the pass is caught over the middle, and McCullough in space trying to make a play, but good convergence by the Big Blue to make the stop. No gain on the play. McCullough has caught, I believe, 3 passes to this point in the contest, and that will end the quarter. Well, that's it for the quarter. There's no score in the game. Can you believe it? 2 high-powered offenses overwhelmed by each other's defense, and there is nobody has put any points on the board yet in this one. So we'll head over to quarter number 2. 0-0 is our score. And just want to recognize all the seniors on the North Reading football team right now while we have this break. Let's start with number 7, Ryan McCullough, the wide receiver. Has a few catches in this one. I'm sure we'll see quite a few more before the night is out. Devin Tran, let's recognize number 12, Devin Tran. John Jennings, number 13 for North Reading. Aiden Smith, number 17 for the Hornets. Spencer Bean, number 19. Daniel Encree, number 21. Also Andrew Powell, number 22. Also Ryan Long, number 35. Dan Oliveira, number 50 for the Hornets. Justin Bailey, number 62, who plays in the interior, nose guard and tackle. Let's also acknowledge Luke Benecki, number 64, and Adam Baker, number 71. So those are all your seniors for North Reading. And we wish them well in their pursuits after this. What a treat they've all given us this season. A tremendous football season for the Hornets. And win or lose tonight, it's been a great, great year. And hopefully win. Hopefully the Hornets will have enough. And it could start here with a nice score on this possession. 2nd down and 10 as we cut to the second quarter. Glad you're with us. And this is Salvador Liberto broadcasting from NORCAM, your community television station. 2nd down and 10 for the Hornets. They haven't been in the Super Bowl in 42 years. Their greatest season on record by far, this one. Can they cap it off with a win? Carucci, 2nd down and 10, takes the snap. Heavy pressure. Quick throw out here to McCullough, who advances the football. Good speed by McCullough to the 20-yard line. And it's going to be 3rd down and about 3.5 or so. You feel like the crowd has settled into this one. Some of that nervous energy feels like it's left the stadium, and now we're in for the long haul here as we just complete the first quarter and move to the second. And if you're just joining us, no score in the contest. You can hear some of the calls coming in from the sideline. 3rd down, just a few yards to go. 4 wide receiver set again, and here's a quick throw out to the left side. McCullough has it, and he's going to be close to the 1st down. Let's check the spot. It is a 1st down for the Hornets as they push on to the 15-yard line. 1st down for the Hornets. And they have picked up a few more 1st downs than Swampscott to this point in the contest. And now can North Reading advance the football further than the 5-yard line? That's their deepest penetration thus far. You see the size of Swampscott. Size of Swampscott relative to North Reading. Here's the snap. Oh, it's fumbled. Kicked around, and Carucci falls on it at the 19-yard line. So, loss of 4 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Hornets just not yet crisp in the red zone. And maybe they'll get there. Maybe they'll get there. Here's the snap. Designed run, and Carucci able to cross the 15-yard line where he's tackled at the 13. First contact came right at that 15 spot, and he lunges forward for a few yards. It's going to be third down now for the Hornets. Third down, call it 8. From the 13, they have to get to the 5, which is the magic line so far in this game. North Reading has lived on this side of the field in the last 10 minutes or so of gameplay. Big Blue have not penetrated midfield as yet. There's the snap. Carucci wants to throw, rolls to his left, now throws across his body. Pass is intercepted. There's a flag on the field. The return is out to the 14-yard line, and we'll check the penalty. Caught a spotty with the pick. And does it thwart the penetration, or do the Hornets retain possession? Swampscott's acting as if the penalty's on North Reading. That's a rough break for the Hornets. Yeah, decline the penalty. Offensive penalty there. Ooh. Exciting contest so far, especially if you're a neutral observer, but North Reading fans have got to be on the edge of their seat so far in this one, but without any payoff. And the Big Blue have been tough as they've thwarted the chances of the Hornets. First down for Swampscott at their own 15-yard line. And look, a shotgun to the big quarterback O'Brien. Takes a snap. Hands the ball off. Bascon has it. Good run for Bascon across the 20. Slips a few tackles and continues as we switch camera angles and cameras on you. And that's an excellent run. A 20-yard gain by Bascon. And it's fired up the crowd. And that was a great run. Took it wide, cut inside, and there was more yardage for the taking. Hurry up offense here by Swampscott. Here's the snap. O'Brien wants to throw, now rolls to his right, and will run across the 25. He leaps, across the 35, and he leaps and goes down about the 44-yard line, and a penalty flag flies in, and I'm not sure what the call's going to be here. This could be the old hurdling call. It's an unusual penalty. You don't see it in the college or the pros, but it does exist in high school. Let's see if it's the hurdling call. Yeah, hurdling. It's a very obscure penalty, but if you leave your feet jumping over another player, they're going to call it. And the thinking is you expose yourself to a lot of injury there, and they want to avoid that in the game. Could you imagine if someone broke a long run, like a game-winning touchdown, and they had to hurdle the last player, and they got penalized? That's a big penalty. So North Reading catches a big break there because that would have set Swampscott up in really nice field position. But as it is, it's going to be first and, I believe, 25. Let's see the spot. They spotted at the 26-yard line. I'm not sure they spotted that correctly, as I think that's a 15-yard penalty. But maybe it was from the end of the run. Well, in any regard, it's first and 20. And here's Bascon going nowhere. Going absolutely nowhere. And the Hornets stopped that one. Stopped that one just as it was getting started. And they remember the last run by Bascon. I'm sure all of you do too. And we don't want to see any repeat performances of that as Hornet fans. So imagine playing in this game tonight and getting back to North Reading really, really late. And then going to school tomorrow. Wonder what school's going to be like for these guys tomorrow. Shout out to my wife. Amy Liberto covers some of the classes, does some substitute teaching at the school. And of course, shout out to Lily, who's in high school. And I may as well shout out to the great Emery Liberto, my younger daughter, who's over at the Batch. We are a North Reading family through and through. Second down, here's the throw to the wide side, and it is caught out there, and a good little pickup on the play for number 30. That's Cole Hammernick. Hammernick with the reception off the pass from O'Brien, and it sets up a manageable third down now for the Big Blue. Ball's on the 37.5. It's Girl Scout cookie season, by the way. Go out and get your Girl Scouts. A lot of the North Reading Girl Scouts will be about town selling cookies. Make sure you pick up those Girl Scout cookies. Okay, ball's almost to the 38-yard line for Swampscott. No score in the game. Surprised to be telling you that, but so far in the contest, almost to the midway point of the second quarter, 0 points scored. Here's O'Brien looking, rolling. Now fires a pass, and it is caught on the sideline. He gets it to Elijah Burns. He's tried Burns. It's the third target of Burns, and the first time Burns has been able to pull it in. Wait, they're making a liar of me, perhaps. The pass is incomplete. Poor Burns. It's 3 attempts to get the ball to him. 0 completions. And Swampscott will punt, and North Reading will get the ball back in a scoreless game. So can the Green put together that drive that they've been so close to having? There's the snap. Left-footed kick flies away. And the ball is going to skip toward the sideline. Winds up being a very effective punt. About a 38-yard punt in the end. Make that a 42-yard punt in the end. And first down at the 22-yard line for North Reading. I would love to see the Hornets try to get their receivers in space, get the ball to McCullough, bubble screen maybe an end around. Love that early play call that we saw on the first possession of the game, the halfback pass. I'd love to see something similar to that. I feel like it's a mental game with this Big Blue team. You cannot go at them just strictly physically. Of course, you want to win a lot of physical battles. But you have to make this team think and react perhaps slower than they might ordinarily. And some misdirection, a few sweeps, a few reverses, a few end-arounds can do that. The Jets sweep, always a good play. There's the snap, and it's fumbled. Carici tried to pick it up and then had to fall on it. That's just a tremendous loss of yardage. That's a 9-yard loss to the 13-yard line. And that is going to really hurt their chances to move the football. Second down and forever now. 2nd and 19 for your North Reading Hornets. No score in the game. I'll keep telling you that until there's actually a score. No one has scored yet in this contest. Get some good sound. You can hear some good sound coming from the game there. The players telling each other what to do. They'll run the ball with Batten, will North Reading. Good gain for Batten to the 20 and able to slide out of bounds back close to the original line of scrimmage, the 20-yard line. Well, reminder to you, this is NORCAM broadcasting this. This is the Super Bowl from Gillette Stadium between North Reading and Swampscott. And NORCAM located across from the library, and of course catty corner to the beautiful green in the center of town. And just soon kids will be sliding down that green on their sleds. Hope to join them. You're getting some great sound there as coaches exhorting the teams from the sideline. Third down and long. Need about 12 here. Carucci throws, passes up and away, and oh my goodness, he was open. Was McCullough. But the throw just a bit wide, and I'm sort of imagining that one, if it's thrown a little bit closer to the numbers rather than the sideline, that might have been a touchdown. In fact, there was a similar play against Linfield. You might remember it on Thanksgiving if you were at that game. North Reading trailed late, had to throw a pass, and Carucci made a perfect throw. Well, here's the punt. Batten's kick is away, nice and high. Ball's going to skip at the 50 and just continue to accelerate, and that's the theme of the night, as punts have rolled and rolled and rolled, and down it goes with a 31-yard line, and that's where the Big Blue will set up shop. But that Thanksgiving game was something. I don't know if you saw that game or not, but North Reading had to deal with Linfield's very best punch, a tremendous performance by the Linfield squad. They ran the ball all over the Hornets, and it had me a little bit worried about this game because Linfield, they didn't have a very good season as a squad that was under 500. But this team here, this team can run the football. Bascon, in fact, Xavier Bascon for the Big Blue. Excuse me, Zavia Bascon. I called him Xavier, but it's Zavia. Both start with X. Zavia Bascon has set all kinds of records. Great running back. Let's see if he gets the carry on this possession. To start, however, they'll flip it out here to the wideout. It'll get a few yards to the 38-yard line. But that game against Linfield, lots of running by Linfield, and it took North Reading. North Reading really had to dig down deep, drive late in that game, convert that fourth down that I referenced a little while ago. Beautiful pass by McCullough down the sideline on the right side of the field. Then they skipped into the end zone a few plays later. Then they had to play defense, and they stopped Linfield around midfield and finished off what was a beautiful Thanksgiving morning for the Hornets. Second down and about 2 for O'Brien and company. Let's see if he gives it to Bascon here. I certainly would. There's a snap. That's who gets it. Right up the middle. Good run. 50, 45, stiff arm 40. Bascon with a bit of a skip. And inside Hornets territory all the way to the 37-yard line. 27-yard line, 27-yard line. Bascon, just a special player. Did you see the combination of size and speed there? Very impressive, and that's his second strong run of the game. Recall that he had a 20-yard run on the last possession by the Big Blue. That might have been a solid possession into North Reading territory, but they called hurdling. Remember the hurdling call? They called hurdling on O'Brien. It set them back. Eventually they had to punt. So here's the deepest penetration of the night thus far by Swampscott. Let's see what they do with this. O'Brien wants a screen. Bascon with it in space. 25. Bascon 20. Bascon 15. 12-yard line where he's tackled. Then a flag at the end of the play. And we'll check the penalty. Not sure if that's a blocking foul or if that's going to be a face mask. Let's check it out. Horse collar. Bascon did come down awkwardly, so you can see that a great penetration here by Swampscott will position the ball at the 7-yard line, 6-yard line, really 6.5 or so. So Bascon, 2 huge plays in a row. The first, the run, and then the second, the screen. And the screen was perfectly executed by Swampscott. Touch on the football, everything that you'd want in a screen pass. So here we go. And it is going to be first down now. First down from the shotgun for O'Brien. Takes the snap, gives it to Bascon. He's stacked and dropped. Look at that penetration. Look at that penetration. Aiden Smith coming in, crashing down on the play, on the run blitz. And that's how you handle this Big Blue offense. You've got to take some chances. You've got to take some chances and try to deliver those blows in the backfield, and North Reading just did that. Great play, and a great call by the coaches to dial that one up. This is such a tricky running game to have to endure for 48 minutes, and the Hornets have done a spectacular job so far in this one. Second down and goal from the 9. Let's see what they dial up here, as O'Brien will look to take the snap from the shotgun. 3 wide to the left, 1 to the right. O'Brien, a design sweep to the 5. He lowers the shoulder and scores the touchdown. Touchdown for Swampscott. And they are on the board. And finally, the scoreless game is no longer a scoreless game, and 6-0 is our score. And Swampscott will line up to attempt the extra point. Wow. Well, Bascon set it up. He had the big run down the left sideline. Then he had the screen pass, and he got the carry inside the 10, but then O'Brien would finish it off, pushing out wide on the quarterback sweep. So they'll attempt the extra point. And it's number 64, Aiden Wolf, for the try. Soccer Steyer kicker. There's the snap. Placement kick is up. Kick is good. Between the uprights, over the Patriots logo on the goalpost. And it's 7-0. 7-0 Swampscott on top of North Reading. And that's really Swampscott's first drive of any consequence. They turned the ball over twice. Once an interception, once a fumble on their own side of the field. And definitely felt like it was North Reading's game early in this one. 2 opportunities deep in Swampscott territory. The first, they got as far as the 5-yard line, went for it on 4th down, did not convert. And then, more recently, they were able to push to about the 15-yard line, but then the interception at the goal line. And so in both cases, turned away. And Swampscott now only 1 opportunity inside the North Reading red zone, but they make it count with the score, and they lead this one 7-0. This is a big football team for the Big Blue, and so North Reading is going to have to try to capitalize here on offense. You saw the way Bascon ran the football on that last possession. When he gets into space, 1 on the sweep, 1 on the screen pass, it's going to be very hard for North Reading to keep this team under, at 7 points going forward. So we're going to need to see some offense from the Hornets if they are to win this game. We're going to need to see some explosion from the Hornets, some of that speed, some of that crispness to get downfield. And maybe it can start with this kickoff here as Swampscott has it teed up. And we're ready to go on this next possession. Ball is squibbed and scooped up. A little bit of a fake pitch there, and the Hornets will start at their 27-yard line. That was number 2 with the run. That was Craig Rubino, a junior, for the Hornets. Well, I don't know what you dial up here. I mean, when you look at what the Hornets have been able to achieve this season, it's just lots of great scoring, very productive offense. But as we were saying, if you look at Swampscott, what they give up per game, they've had a handful of games that they've given up a lot of points, but just scrolling through, you've got the 28 that they gave up to Marblehead on Thanksgiving, but other than that, you've got 6, 6, 9, 19, 7, 12, 12, 7. And then much deeper back in the season in October against Peabody, gave up 21, but then 6 against Saugus, 7 against Gloucester. So this is not a team that gives up points. And case in point, here's a good push into the backfield and a loss of 1.5 yards on the play. There's a sneaky win against Leicester early in the season, gave up 26 points to Leicester. But generally, this is a team that gives up somewhere around 10 points per game, and in some cases it goes a little higher. The average, I believe, was 13 for the season. North Reading is a better than average offense, however. So if the Hornets can get themselves to a couple of touchdowns, that might be enough given how well their defense has been playing. 2nd down and long, and here's a pass to the left side, and it's caught by McCullough, slips a couple of tackles, able to advance to the 33. A good play for the Hornets, and now a 3rd down. 3rd down. Third down, we'll call it 5 for the Hornets tonight in green and white. Just the smallest hint of gold. If you look at the helmet, you can see it. Would love to see the Hornets bring some gold back into the uniform. Maybe a little gold piping down the pant. Wouldn't kill anybody, would it? If for no other reason than to match the band, which is wearing the elegant green and gold uniforms. Officials conferring now, and we'll see what the stoppage is about here. Swampscott a regular. If they win this game, guess how many championships that would make? Just take a guess. What do you think? I'll let you think about that for a second. I ask you that question as if you're a Swampscott expert. These players, if you think about it, these players have been together for a long time. These guys probably have played with each other since they were 10, 9, 12 years old. Yeah, we got a little excitement from the coaching staff there. I'll circle back to my trivia question in just a moment. Carucci wants to throw it deep down the field, and the pass is contested and intercepted. Intercepted by Swampscott. Caught a spotty with his second pick of the day. Ooh. Swampscott will take over at the 42.5-yard line. The answer to the trivia question, how many championships, if they were to win this one, would that be for the Super Blue, the Big Blue? 11 is the answer. That's crazy. That's an enormous number. 11. Their 11th state title. It'd be their 4th Super Bowl crown. But their 11th state title since 1943. So a tradition of excellence. And credit to North Reading. They have been right there with this team in this game. Toe-to-toe with this excellent, excellent football team. Two great football teams. It's a treat to give you this game, to broadcast this game. Ball's on the 42-yard line. Shotgun formation for O'Brien, and he drops back. Another screen. Bascon has it. 40, 45, slips a tackle. In space, Bascon tackled at the 48-yard line. And a nice-looking play by Bascon. We mentioned he has all the rushing records for Marblehead, and you see he cuts a physique that does suggest success at the next level as well if he wants to pursue it. Solid football player. The good news for North Reading is they won't have to deal with him again. He's a senior, so this will be his last game. North Reading will have to never see this player again. The bad news is there's still another quarter and change to go. Another half and change to go. First down, as Big Blue has crossed midfield, and they've really found a rhythm there with those swing passes, with those screens, and the wide runs for Bascon. Good blocking, good execution. Here's the throw, and it is caught over on the sideline for Swampscott. That's Hammernick with the catch. And he'll have a handful of yards to about the 42-yard line. Well, North Reading wants to bow up here. This is a big possession. You hate to see this game get away from a one-score opportunity. It's going to be 2nd down and 4. You really want to clamp down here if you can. You can hear the band in the background. They sound good. I like that. Ball's on the 42. There's a snap to O'Brien. Stands strong. Now rolls to his right. Some pressure. Fires. Passes. Caught. And a first down across the 35 to the 32-yard line goes number 9 for Swampscott. That's Nakari Davis. And they're going to call it at the 31-yard line. Davis was injured earlier in the game. Good to see him back out there. Yeah, timeout by Swampscott, trying to preserve the clock a little bit here. See if Swampscott can advance this possession. North Reading trying to put up a big fight here to prevent that. Well, Swampscott they would tie their school record for wins if they won at this one. So that's interesting for a team that's won so often in this spot. They get this win, it'll get them to 12 wins, and it would tie a school record, and they almost beat Marblehead, and that would have been 13 wins, of course, and would have been the school record. Each team really breezed through their season this year, and it just makes sense that they would meet. It was almost a collision course kind of situation. Neither challenged much in the playoffs. Swampscott won a couple of games 20-6. And won one game 23-9 over Sherburne, the first game in the playoffs. First out of the 31, four-man front for North Reading. Let's see if they try to bring pressure here on O'Brien, who's been tough tonight. Takes the snap, he'll throw again. Rifles one down the right sideline, passes incomplete, looking for Bascon. Great coverage on the play as North Reading's able to knock that away. That appears to be Guidebeck with the coverage. And it'll be second down and 10. For Swampscott, here we are late in the first quarter. If you're just joining us now, exciting contest, very much a defensive struggle throughout. 7-0 is our score. Swampscott out in front of North Reading. And the Big Blue just a little bit better than the Hornets so far tonight. A lot of fans have made the trip from North Reading and from Swampscott, and you can hear them very vocal, which is great. A lot of great spirit for both these squads. Second down, three-man front for North Reading. All day for O'Brien. Wants a pass down the right sideline, and it is incomplete. Bascon out there, and he almost made the catch. Would have been a super catch. And it's third down. He was open, and O'Brien had time. So North Reading not able to get the pressure that they want. Of course, the problem with pressure is if you come in strong, and let's say you've got 4 or 5 guys coming, maybe 6 even, the quarterback gets away from that. He's going to have all day, all kinds of room to run. And you're going to be behind him, and you're not going to be able to make the play. So you want to keep a lot of that in front, especially when you have an athletic quarterback like this. But on the other side of that is if you're only rushing 3, it's hard to get pressure, and he's going to have some really open looks, just as he had Bascon wide open there. Third down and 10. 3-man rush for the Hornets. Will they bring pressure? No, they're just going to rush 3. Good pressure, though. They tried the screen pass Bascon, and they're going to wrap this one up, it would appear. Yes, indeed. Good stop by the Hornets. Bascon dropped at the 33-yard line. He loses 2 on the play. And that was great defense by the Hornets as they closed in and recognized what was happening. You know, they know the player that you have to focus on and isolate. And they've done a super job. Super job here late going on this drive. Great job by the Hornets. It is fourth down and long, and it's way out of field goal range, and you wouldn't punt in this circumstance generally. Waning moments of the half here, and Big Blue will line up and see if they can push this ball down the field quickly. End of the first. Good pressure by North Reading. And he's just flinging it down the middle, and it's incomplete, O'Brien's pass is. And I think that's the last play of the quarter, and it is. So the half ends there, and it's 7-0 with the Big Blue out in front of the Hornets. Big Blue having played a pretty good first half offensively and defensively. They stopped that threat that North Reading brought early in this game. Recall, North Reading inside the 20 twice, but able to score both times. And then the running game of the Big Blue started to get going, and once it did, they were able to take up some big chunks of yards, move in, eventually get their touchdown, the 9-yard run by O'Brien. But North Reading very much still in this game at 7-0. Play a little defense here, and then see if they can get that offense going. And we'll see what kind of second half we have as they have it teed off and ready to go and kick the ball from their 40-yard line. Thanks for joining us on NORCAM. We're broadcasting the Super Bowl, North Reading's first appearance in it since 1979. Scooped up at the 28, 30, 35, 40, 45, 47-yard line for Swampscott. That's a great start And that's Papazoglu with the return, picking up the squib kick and making the most of it. A very good return. And this is how the second half begins, pretty much how the first half ended, with Swampscott threatening with good field position. Well, it's been Xavier Bascon, the star so far in this one, the senior number 2 from the running back position. And Cam O'Brien, the quarterback, he's had a pretty good day as well. Let's see if North Reading can dig in here. They start with a 4-man front. Traditional 3 linebacker set with the 4 in the secondary. There's the snap. O'Brien will give to Bascon left side, and he's able to only get about 3 yards. Good tackle on the play as North Reading closed that one in quickly. And that's the key with Bascon. If you can tackle him on the first contact, that's going to give you a fighting chance. So 2nd down and 7 for the Big Blue, wearing their white jerseys and white pants with the blue piping and stripes. And of course, North Reading in the green jerseys with the white pants. And as we've said, we'd like a little more gold in that green, in that North Reading uniform, please. A little more gold in there, like the band has. Just a thought. 2nd down and 7 now from the 49-yard line of the Hornets. There's the snap, and there's the give to Bascon, able to dart wide and slip 2 tackles, now 3, across the 40-yard line and spun out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Good play for Bascon. He's a good football player, that's for sure. And 1st down for the Big Blue. As we've said, the roster sizes for the Big Blue, they're a little bit bigger of a team, a little bit taller, a little bit heavier. And the question that we had really at the start was, were they going to wear down this North Reading team? And they might just do that. North Reading's really going to have to push and make tackles on that first contact. It's a 3-man front for North Reading this time, and here's a pitch to Bascon, running right, 40-yard line, and he's going to be dropped hard on the play. Good tackle by North Reading, and looked like Rubino came up from the safety spot to make the stop. Kind of an exotic package there with the three-man line and then the 4 linebackers behind, and it worked well, that play, as the strategy for the Big Blue was to try to spread the defense out a little bit, run that ball wide and see if they can collect the right blocks, but North Reading was having none of it on that play. 2nd down. Swampscott taking all of the play clock. I mean, they're just taking a long time to get these snaps here. You can hear the crowd getting into it a little bit here in the 3rd quarter. Pistol formation. And there is a pitch to Bascon, who throws the ball down the field, and it is caught inside the 5, and that looks like a touchdown for the Big Blue, and it is. Oh my goodness, injured player on the field as Bascon took the pitch and tossed the ball down the field, the prettiest throw we've seen in this game by Swampscott, and it is a touchdown and an injured player. The receiver, Cole Hammernick, made the catch and perhaps landed on the football. That's my best guess. That's going to knock the wind out of you if you've ever experienced that. And that is a touchdown by Bascon, and it's 13-0. 13-0 in this one, and North Reading, well, they've run the same play a couple of times, haven't they? Pitching the ball to the halfback, setting up the block in the backfield, and then the halfback tosses it downfield, and it was a really good throw by Bascon. The ball traveled almost 40 yards in the air, caught at about the 5-yard line by Hammernick, and able to get into the end zone. North Reading closed on the play at the end, but Hammernick was already across the goal line, and he does seem to be okay, and that's good news in a 13-0 game. So Swampscott will kick for 1 here. And they send their place kicker out. And they'll look to convert. There's the snap. Placement. Kick is up. Kick is good. 14-0 is our score. Swampscott out in front of North Reading, and now we need to see the Hornets deliver some offense, and it's an offense that has been so good this year in so many spots. An offense able to put together long drives but also score quickly and from almost anywhere in the field. If you attended some North Reading games this year, you know this offense is more than capable of generating points in a hurry. A lot of it's on sweeps, the occasional trap. They also like to get the ball outside to the receivers, and they can throw the ball downfield. In fact, there was the great pass play on a 4th down to set up the touchdown against Linfield last week. But here's a case where North Reading's going to need to start moving the football and quickly. 14-0 the score. Swampscott out in front. I'm Salvador Liberto, and you're watching NORCAM's coverage of this exciting Super Bowl matchup between North Reading and Swampscott. Thanks for joining us. Ball's teed up at the 40, and Swampscott will kick it off. We'll see if North Reading can set themselves up with good field position here off the return. Wobbly kick fielded at the 24-yard line. And here's Rubino picking his way out to the 35-yard line. So decent field position for the Hornets. And let's see if they're able to move this football down the field a little bit. Swampscott has been a grudging opponent to this point in the contest. North Reading has not been deep in Swampscott territory since early in the second quarter. They threw an interception when they had the ball inside the 20. Carucci, the quarterback, and he will flip to McCullough, who's going to be popped out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Nothing there for the Hornets. 2nd down and 10. You know, that's that speed that they have that they're trying to utilize on that play, but unfortunately they're playing a team that's just as fast. Second down now, and the crowd, you can hear them, the Swampscott crowd getting a little more exercised, realizing perhaps their odds are significant of a championship. 2nd down and 10. There's the snap, and they'll run the ball with Batten, and he'll have a yard or two across the 35. So a big 3rd down here for North Reading. 3rd down and 8 coming up. Been such a great season for the Hornets. We'll just cycle through some of these scores. A 49-point output against Northeast Metro, 46 against Greater Lawrence, 41 against Ipswich. Triton Regional, 48, 42 against Newburyport, 42 against Hamilton Wenham. 3rd down and 8 for the Hornets, trying to get on the board here and move this ball into Swampscott territory, and Carucci steps up. A flag will fly, and Carucci will take a heavy hit at the 39 and be pushed back. We'll check the penalty, but it looks like North Reading's going to be in a punting circumstance here. Decline the penalty, does the big blue, and it's 4th down. So North Reading will go 3 and out on this possession to start the 3rd quarter. Swampscott scored on their first possession of the 3rd, and now the Hornets will have to punt on their first possession of the 3rd, and a 14-0 game. There's a snap. There's the punt. It's away. Nice punt. Excellent punt. Going to bounce to the 15. Bascon scoops it up. Looking for daylight. None there. The Reading. Oh, wow. North Reading had him cammed in, and he's able to clear for a few yards out to the 16. But what a punt. Really nice kick that flew through the air, and that was Guidebeck with the punt. And Bascon on the return. So the Swampscott team will have it at the 16-yard line. And I would imagine their aim at this point is to control the football and control the game and see if they can't continue this heavy rushing attack, drive up the time of possession numbers, and wear down the North Reading front. Meanwhile, for North Reading, the charge is simple. Stop this rushing attack, get the ball back, and try again. See if they can get this ball back in the other direction. Or force a turnover, and they've had a couple so far. O'Brien looks like he wants to throw. Now he'll step up, and he'll run to the 17, 18, 19-yard line where he's tackled. They'll give him the 20, and that's a 4-yard gain for Swampscott. O'Brien, who's tough to bring down, and has had a couple of injuries in this game, but keeps coming back into the game and keeps playing well. Be second down. It's a beautiful night here at Gillette Stadium, if it's a little bit cold, and I imagine it's not too comfortable upon contact in these uniforms. The plastic pops as you take those hits with the pads. But what a thrill for these players to be able to play in this stadium, in this setting, and have the seasons they've had. Bascon with a carry. Good stop by North Reading. Well done by the Hornets. Pino led the charge to make the tackle, number 79, and it's going to be third down. About a 3-yard gain on the play. Third down and about 3. They need to get to the 26-yard line. They're on the 23 right now. Swampscott has not thrown the ball too much in this game. Most of their plays have been runs, either by the quarterback or by the running back, Bascon. And let's see what the call is here on a third down and 3 with 4 wide receivers in the game. And there's a snap, and they will run it with Bascon charging up the middle, and he is going to get that second push, and I think get the first down. They'll mark it about the 36.5. He needed the 36. You see the officials waving their arms and now signaling first down. So first down for Swampscott as they pick up another first down here in the third quarter. They've been perfect so far in the third quarter with the football, advancing it for a touchdown and now a first down on their second possession. And it's just that kind of silent, slow drip is sort of what we're experiencing right now for the Hornets and the Hornet faithful. Gotta get a stop. First down and 10 of the 26. 26, excuse me. O'Brien wants it over the middle. Pass is caught. What a catch. What a snare in the air by Jason Cotaspati. And a beautiful throw by O'Brien. And I'm pretty sure the Hornets were not expecting pass there. I know I wasn't. And, you know, you set the run up to set up the pass. It's the old Bill Walsh model. First down. Ball's on the 42 of the Hornets. 3 wideouts in the game, and they have Bascon in the backfield with O'Brien. Nakari Davis, the wide receiver, was in the backfield there to block off the left side. Bascon takes it to the right and has about half the yardage needed, about 5 yards on the play. Second down. It was an exciting throw to Cotaspati. They had single coverage in the middle of the field. And North Reading not able to knock that pass down. They've had some good pass defense in this game, but just not that time. North Reading's defense has played pretty well, all things considered, in this contest to keep this explosive offense to 14 at this juncture in the game. Pretty good. There's the snap. O'Brien, a little screen pass to Bascon, who's tackled. No, he's not. He gets away, 40, and Bascon skips out of bounds. He was hit initially, and it looked like that was going to be a loss, but able to accelerate toward the sideline, and it's going to be a third down and about 3 or so. Third down and 3 at the 35-yard line of the Hornets. Ball is on the 35-yard line. And they'll line up in the pistol again. Anthony Nichols to the left, and I'm wondering if they won't feed Nichols at some point. Nope, Bascon straight up the middle. Bascon to the 30 to the 29-yard line, and it's a first down. And the Swampscott players indicate first down, and that's exactly right. Ball is on the 29-yard line. And the Big Blue looking to push this one out to 20 or 21-0. And if they're able to do that, they may coast from here. Ball's on the 29. And O'Brien will take the snap with 3 wide receivers in the game, to the right, 1 to the left, and Bascon, of course, to his left. And it is a give to Bascon, right side. And the sweep to the 25 and shoved out of bounds there. And they'll run the clock. And it's about a 4-yard gain. Bascon now close to 100 yards on the day. To give you an indication of the kind of output that Swampscott has put together. Four wideouts in the game here. 2 on either side. North Reading with a 4-man front. And they will rush 3. O'Brien will step to his right. O'Brien will run with the football and out of bounds. And the play is still alive. Did he fumble the ball? Did he fumble? Wow, I thought O'Brien was out of bounds. He came back in and then took a big hit and lost the football. And O'Brien is hurt again. Wow. Well, how about that for a turn of events? And we've got O'Brien on the field. Let's hope he's okay. He took quite a shot. And he'll get up on his own power and limp off the field. Probably a banged-up ankle. Maybe they'll tape that up and see if he can still play. Meanwhile, first down for the Hornets at the 7. What an impressive play to wrest that ball free and then recover it. And I thought O'Brien was out of bounds, but they didn't mark him out, and he just kept charging. And, of course, you play to the whistle, of course. You don't stop. And fighting for those extra yards. The end result is North Reading continues to have a shot in this one. They trail 14-0. The shot is a long shot. But if they can move the football down the field here, well, why not? There's the snap, and they'll pitch the ball. Rubino on the jet sweep. Rubino slips the tackle. Rubino with some room across the 15 and close to the first down at the 17-yard line. Okay. See if the Hornets can put something together here with the spark of life that they are enjoying in the late stages of the third. It is a first down. And here's Carucci looking for the pitch and not able to get anywhere. Good pressure on the play. And he will go down in the arms of number 54, Dylan Dubiel. And it's going to be second down and about 11. Second down 11 now for the Hornets. Special thank you to Swampscott Public Access. They're sharing their video feed with us tonight, and we thank them for that. It's great to have these pictures in 4K. They look really great. 2 wideouts for either side for the Hornets. And it's going to be a throw. Rubino on the halfback toss. McCullough with the catch across the 50-yard line. And where have we seen that play before? The Hornets ran it earlier in this one. And, of course, Swampscott has a touchdown off it. And you've got these two defenses that are so disciplined, difficult to move the football on. You've got to try to throw it over them. You've got to try to create a moment of hesitation. And the Hornets able to do that there. Ball's on the 47-yard line of Swampscott. And the big question is, can you finish off the drive here? North Reading has had so many opportunities in this game where they just couldn't finish the drive. Well, can you do that here and then get yourself back in the game? Here's the snap. They will flip. Jet sweep coming around. And it's a yard or so on the play. And that was McGuire fielding the touch pass there from Carucci. It'll be second down and 9. Ball's on the 46.5 or so. Now we have whistles. So the quarter ends there, and we'll go to the fourth. The score is 14 for Swampscott and 0 for North Reading. It's been a defensive struggle. Swampscott's had the better of it because of their rushing attack. They've been able to advance the ball more quickly with the runs. They have more yards per carry. North Reading has about 25 yards on the ground in this game, which is very uncharacteristic of North Reading, but there it is. And the passing attack, mostly it's been the halfbacks throwing the football on this one. And it's just not been able to be the kind of offense we're used to seeing from the Hornets, but they're playing probably the best defense they've played all season long. And that's just how these things go. You get to these championship games, it's strength against strength, strength against strength. And we'll see how it plays out. Swampscott, as we've said, a ton of experience. There's a lot of institutional memory, if you will, in these championship games, as we get a little bit of a dance from the Swampscott cheerleading crew. But Swampscott has that experience. This would be their 4th Super Bowl title ever and their 11th state championship, should they hold on here. And, of course, North Reading just 1 appearance in the Super Bowl in 1979. That said, this North Reading team has a ton of juniors and sophomores on it. There's no reason why they can't continue to have really strong seasons and possibly even show up in a Super Bowl in the not-too-distant future. So I think the future is going to be bright for North Reading. We get backflips. We've got backflips. I did not see that coming as Swampscott's cheerleaders execute the backflip. And that was beautifully done here on the field of Gillette Stadium. Again, a special thrill for all these students who are here. I imagine a quiet day at school tomorrow for most of them, wouldn't you think? Second down and 9, and shotgun for Carucci, takes the snap, gives to Batten, and Batten gives the ball to Rubino, trying a little bit of a chickeration, make that McCullough, who ended up with the football. And I like the intent, but a good push by the Big Blue thwarted the play and doesn't gain anything. In fact, it loses about 6 yards. And it's going to be third down for North Reading. Third down, and we will call it 16 for the Hornets. There's Carucci rolling to his left now. Throws a pass and incomplete. Dangerous throw. Could easily have been intercepted there by Swampscott. Fourth down. I imagine the Hornets will punt it here. We'll send Guideback back to punt. Guideback's a junior, 6'2", one of the taller players on the team. And he's had a really good night punting. He's lifted a few punts beyond the receiving man for Swampscott. Punts this one really high. And the ball is going to bounce backwards, though. Doesn't get the roll. Hits at about the 30. Comes back to the 35-yard line. So that might have had a nice opportunity if it had bounced the other way. But the football is, it's almost a spheroid in its shape. And it's going to give you those wicked bounces from time to time. It's what makes the game fun and at times for some teams maddening. I had a friend tell me, I forget what term he used, maybe an ellipsoid? And I don't know what an ellipsoid is. He said, no, it's not a spheroid, it's more of an ellipsoid. So we could spend our free time looking that up if we wanted to. First down for the Big Blue. 3 wideouts in the game, 1 to the left. O'Brien, and guess who stands next to him? Xavier Bascon, who does get the carry at the 30, 35, 40, 45. Bascon fighting through. Good tackle there by the Hornets to stop a play that looked like it could go for a big gain. Oliveira with the tackle, number 50 for the Hornets. But that's 11 for Bascon and a first down for the Big Blue. Yeah, ellipsoid. Have you ever heard of that? He's a math teacher, though, so he knows about shapes and things. And so I for years I've called the football a spheroid. I always like to drop a spheroid reference when I'm calling one of these games, but I may have to rethink that. First down for the Big Blue at their own 46-yard line. 3-man front. And give us to Bascon, right side, and he's going to be popped and dropped. Good play. Good play by North Reading. Excellent stop by the Hornets. 2-yard loss on the play. That was excellent. Swampscott taking every second of that play clock off as we push down under 9 minutes here to go in the game. Ball's on the 45-yard line. There's the snap. O'Brien rolls to his right. He will run with the football and dives to about the 46-yard line of the Hornets. It'll be 3rd down and 2. See O'Brien limping. It's one of those circumstances where you just say, we're gonna play ball. I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna finish my senior season. But obviously in a lot of pain and really struggling to complete the game. Okay, 3rd down for the Big Blue, and let's see if the Hornets can get themselves a stop. That's the name of the game. Can you get a stop, and can you give yourself a chance? Hornets on their last possession able to push the ball to midfield with a halfback throw. However, unable to advance it beyond there and had to punt. Hornets have not been able to do much with the football here in the second half. Here's a run. Bascon has it. Escaping traffic at the 50. Slides inside, and he's going to go down at the 47-yard line, and that's a 4th down. So the Hornets have done it. The Hornets have stopped the Big Blue. Morelli came in and made the stop. And let's see if the Big Blue elect to punt here or if they'll try to go for it. Try to play a little bit of a field position game. So O'Brien's back in, the quarterback. He's going to punt this football. Ball's on the 47, and let's see if North Reading can maybe get a bit of a return here. That would be something to get the Chargers excited. Takes the snap, kicks it away, and the ball's going to bounce. And this will be a very favorable punt. Ball's going to bounce inside the 20 and go out of bounds at the 16-yard line. So that's where North Reading will take over. And Swampscott has sort of given away no freebies here in the second half, except for that fumble by Cam O'Brien. They were driving where the Big Blue, and O'Brien fumbled, and North Reading recovered off the vicious hit at the 7-yard line. And that was toward the end of the third quarter that occurred. Here we are at about the midway point of the fourth. And North Reading running out of chances here. In a 14-0 game, they're going to need to push the ball into the end zone. I'm going to say on this drive, I think if you're going to give yourself a chance to win this football game, you need to score a touchdown here. I think so. Could be wrong, but it just sort of feels like time is creeping away from you. And here's a case where if you scored the touchdown, maybe you don't need the onside kick. Here they pitch the ball to Batten, and he's going to get about 3 yards to the 19. You want to try to avoid needing the onside kick. You don't want to be in the so-called onside kick zone, but that could be where they're headed. But first things first, they have the ball on the 19. They've got to get it down the field. Here's a quick pass to the far side. McGuire with all kinds of room across the 30 out to the 37, and that play looked awfully familiar. That's a play we've seen North Reading run with a lot of success all year long, and sometimes they break it for scores. I was at one game, and it's just sort of you turn around, and they had 3 touchdowns on the board on 3 plays that looked like that. Also a kick return added to the scoring in that one. That was, I think, as I look at my notes, that might have been the Hamilton game, Hamilton-Wenham game. Here's a run to the right side, and they're going to cross the 46-yard line or so with this one with Batten. Let's see the spot. This will be close to a first down. And we've got a flag down. Haven't seen a ton of penalties in this one, but when we have, they've been significant. That's going to set the Hornets back. Ball's on the 28-yard line for Carucci. Takes, flips it out left side, juggling. And I believe that's Batten with it. Not much there. It's going to be third down. Third and super long for the Hornets. Scratch that. It says second down. Second down and 18 for the Hornets from their 30-yard line. Flips it out to Batten again. Batten across the 30. Takes a hit at the 33-yard line and gets out of bounds. Hornets have not been in this position much this season. I think that's one of the challenges they're facing right now. I don't know that they've trailed 14 in any game all year, and then certainly none this late in the contest. They needed a score late against Linfield last week, but it was just one score that they needed, and they had plenty of time to achieve it. Here's the circumstance where they need 2 scores, and they don't have much time. Third down, and quite long, about 16. Carucci flips it out. McCullough making a move, making a few moves, and has some good yards out to the 45-yard line, and now a manageable 4th down and 3 for the Hornets. Clock is running. Clock is running. Down to about 4 minutes left in this one, friends. And the Hornets trying to dig in. Ooh, we have movement up front, and Swampscott may have been offsides there. Oh, that's going to be a gift. 5 yards and the first down now for the Hornets at the 50. So the question here is, how quickly can the Hornets get this touchdown? I know that's optimistic, right? They have not moved the football inside the 30-yard line of Swampscott in the second half, but a lot of crisp movement. They've advanced this ball quickly, 34 yards from the 16 to the 50, and lots of passes to the outside. I think they're ready to execute here. I think North Reading's going to push themselves into position here. Ball's right at midfield. First down for the Hornets. I'm feeling optimistic, folks. .444 left. And they'll get it going from there. Ball's on the 50. And let's see if the Hornets can get it in the end zone. Carucci keeping, and he's going to be stacked up and dropped. Oh, my goodness. That was a jailbreak by the defense there as they executed that well. And it is going to be second down and about 12 for the Hornets. Ball's on the 48-yard line. Carucci looking, eases one out, and it's caught. McCullough with it, and it'll be dropped hard. Dropped hard on the play by Dubiel. About 4 on the pass reception. And it'll be third down. And about 6. So he got 6 on that play because they had lost 2 on the prior. So third down at 6. From the 46, they need the 40-yard line. Hornets are going empty backfield here, 5 wide. And Carucci looks to throw. Under pressure. Caught in the flat by Batten, makes a move, 40-yard line, Batten to the 35 and out of bounds. Out of bounds. They played the sideline very well on this possession, have the Hornets. And they've given themselves a chance. And that's all you can ask. So here come the Hornets, down 14-0 on the 34-yard line. And trying to get that touchdown, but do it with just enough time to give yourselves a shot on the other side of the kickoff. Still with 5 wide receivers. Carucci will run. 30. Carucci, 30, 25-yard line, out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Another first down for the Hornets. Definitely a successful possession thus far for the Hornets. This started at their own 16-yard line. They're trying to go all 84 and cut this lead in half. You hear the call for the Texas twist, so I wonder if that's going to be a line call. We're going to see the linemen do a twist to try to present some pressure, and Carucci keeps, and he'll go down to the 19. He gets 4 on the play. It'll be second down. You can feel the excitement building on the Swampscott sideline as they bark out their orders, and North Reading looking to answer that intensity. Ball's on the 19. There's the snap. Looking. Rifles a throw. And it is caught. And Marino has it inside the 10 to the 7. Nice play by Marino on the catch. the slip screen, and Hornets trying to push this thing into the end zone. Be first down and goal at the 7. There's the snap. Flares it out left side, and knocked down is McCullough at the 4-yard line. Ryan McCullough with a catch. He's had quite a few receptions today. I think he's had about 10 receptions in the contest thus far. Ball's on the 4. Carucci. There's movement up front, and it looks like Swampscott may have jumped off sides. The second time on this possession. Let's check the call, though. Yep. Second down. As they're off sides, and North Reading's going to have it just a couple of yards away. Can they get in the end zone here? You see how close it is. The striped football resting at the 2. Second down and goal to go. Carucci takes, looks, throws, and the pass is intercepted. Bascon has it, and he is racing, showing track star speed, 40, 30, 20. There's a flag on the play as Bascon gets into the end zone and puts the game away if the penalty is on North Reading. But the flag is in the end zone, so let's check the call. Typically, this is a defensive penalty. Typically, this is going to be defensive interference or holding. And so the 100-yard sprint could be for naught. The officials will confer. The players will walk back, which certainly suggests a penalty on the Big Blue. That was a lot of running by Bascon. This is going to be a tired defense as they were in position to block. So that'll put the ball on the 1. It is a penalty on the Big Blue, and the collective sigh rises up from the North Reading sideline. And you hate to see a game end like that if you're North Reading. You hate to see that you would fall behind 20 zip 2 yards away. On the other side of it, if you're Swampscott, you can't stand that you just had the touchdown to seal the game, but you had the penalty that nullified it. So a timeout here by Swampscott. They want to talk it through, and maybe the coach wants to talk to the officials to understand the penalty. I did not see it. We didn't have the camera angle to suggest the foul, but where the flag was placed, it was a yard into the end zone, and that's a rare penalty in high school football. You rarely see a holding call by the defense. And so I guess the supposition from this point is it was probably a pretty obvious call, probably a jersey pull or something in the middle there, maybe on the crossing pattern. That's my best guess. You don't usually see a holding penalty. You might see pass interference, sure, but defensive holding, a very rare call in circumstances such as this. The bands are going. It sounds good, huh? Nice energy into the night. Beautiful night here at Gillette Stadium, and just a great night. Just a great night for both schools. A celebration of 2 tremendous seasons, and it's one of those deals. It's a shame that one of these teams has to lose this game, given how good of a season each has had and how tremendous each has been. And even within this game, North Reading has fought so hard. And Swampscott has as well. North Reading looking to cap off this drive. They'd go 84 yards if they can get the touchdown here. Let's see what Carucci does with it. He will look to throw, but then run, and Carucci inside the pylon on the left side. Touchdown, Hornets. Touchdown for the Hornets. Super run by Carucci. Showed great acceleration, and he showed a lot of patience on this drive. He picked his spots, some good running, some good throwing, good catching by McCullough and the other receivers, and the Hornets really right where they wanted to be when this drive started. They took their time. They picked their spots. A couple of penalties by Swampscott assisted, but North Reading did everything they could to get it to 14-6, and now Guidebach kicks the extra point that hits the crossbar and goes through. It's good. And so North Reading has their 7th point, 14-7. So don't get up and fix dinner just yet. Don't go to bed just yet. Don't turn us off just yet. North Reading will probably execute an onside kick here. See if they can get the football back and give themselves one more chance. What a Super Bowl it's been, a 14-7 score. Swampscott with multiple opportunities to extend the lead in the second half. They just haven't been able to do it. Only one touchdown to their name. North Reading in the first half. That was their half of missed opportunity, particularly the first quarter. Drove inside after a turnover, had the ball inside the 20, could not cash it in. Had the ball inside the 20 early in the second, could not cash it in. And so the Hornets with a few missed opportunities, but both teams has had missed opportunities in this game. So I don't think you can just say, well, it coulda, shoulda, woulda in one direction. I think it works in both directions here. And for Swampscott to have a 7-point lead, that feels about right at this juncture. That feels about right. So they'll attempt the onside kick with Guidebach. Hits it. Nice hard squib. Oh, but covered quickly. Covered quickly by Swampscott. That was Nakari Davis with a really great play to field that. And not much of a chance for no chance, in fact, for the Hornets to recover that as Swampscott takes it away. And I thought that was a pretty good attempt by Guidebach. Well, first down for the Big Blue, and they're probably 3 first downs away from closing this one out, which is no fait accompli. That is not a given at this juncture. We will see if they will run the football. I imagine they will. And for North Reading, I think you've got 2 tasks. One is, if you can stop the play, but then the other, try to force that turnover, and they've been able to do that some today. Ball's on the 45-yard line. Shotgun for O'Brien. Gives to Bascon. Lots of room up the middle. 45-yard line, 40-yard line. Bouncing off tacklers. Looking like a man among boys there. Not out of bounds at the 20-yard line. And Bascon with another tremendous run. Oh, my goodness. Goes for about 34 yards on that play. And he has just been tremendous today. And that's the first down. And now Swampscott in serious range of a score. As they continue to pound the football on North Reading, and Bascon continues to be the star that he is. He has all sorts of records. He holds all kinds of records. And you can see why. Ball's on the 20. North Reading's going to dig in here. You've got to force a turnover. Bascon with it, gliding across the 15 to the 13-yard line. And Bascon, you can see he's tired. He's had a bunch of carries in this game. By my count, 19 of them. And that's a lot of runs. That's a lot of runs in a high school football game. Typically, you have 2 backs that are going to split the carries, and maybe each are going to have in that 13 to 17 range, and then your quarterback's going to run the ball a ton. But with Cam O'Brien, more or less sidelined from running the football since his ankle sprain in this one, which he's had twice, I think, at least 2 ankle sprains, or 2 where they've manifested themselves. So he's only had 8 rushes in this contest. But Bascon, by my count at 19, has carried the load here for Swampscott. And North Reading, in times, has been able to tackle him, stop him behind the line of scrimmage, and make some plays. That's why the score is still just 14. You know, the Hornets have come up with some huge third down stops in this second half, and of course they've forced some turnovers. But the first and second down runs have been significant for Bascon. You saw just a little while ago, 34 yards he ripped off after the onside kick to flip the field. And so at a minimum here, if North Reading does get this football back, they're going to have a long way to go with very little time to try to tie this game. Ball is on the 12-yard line, and they need about 2.5 here. And they will give to Bascon, and North Reading's going to bottle it up and stop it. A big green rush. What a nice play in the middle. And a really solid tackle there by the Hornets. And North Reading takes a timeout. So try to preserve this clock here. As the fight song plays, sounds great, the North Reading fight song. Teams huddling up for this crucial third down play, 3rd down and 3. And if you're Swampscott, do you go for this if you don't convert? Let's say you get half of it or a yard, or you lose a yard, or lose 2 yards, somewhere in that range. Do you try the field goal? Your place kicker is your quarterback, and he's been injured. But that would be maybe 32, 33, 35-yard attempt. You probably would not. You'd probably go for it. So I think this is 4-down territory for Swampscott to try to close out this game. Let's see what O'Brien does here. Bascon has it, slips one tackle, slips another, loses the football, and North Reading recovers it. You've got to be kidding me. Brandon Eng with the recovery. At the 2-yard line, Bascon was popped, and he lost the ball. And the Hornets take over, and they get exactly what they need. Swampscott at first had what they needed. They had the first down. They essentially had the game put away. But Bascon trying to make a move. And you know what? In that circumstance, so you're in the championship game. You're not going down, right? How much awareness do you have? You have the first down in that moment. You're not going down. You're going to fight for those yards like O'Brien did earlier in the game when he fumbled. But North Reading just continues to make these plays late in this game to stay alive. And now I imagine the strategy has to be similar to it was on the last drive where they work the sideline, pick your spots, and then try to drive one down the field. They have less time than they did with the clock showing about a minute to go. Ball's on the 2.5. And here's a quick throw left side. McCullough has it as a few yards. Out to the 10-yard line. It's about a 8-yard gain out to the 10 on the left hash mark. Well, I wonder if we'll see another halfback option pass. There's a flip. McCullough has it, 15, 16 or so. Wrestled out of bounds. Okay, so they get out of the shadow of their own goal post. But now the question is, can they drive it to midfield or so and then take a few shots at that end zone? That's going to be the key. You see the North Reading faithful bouncing up and down, excited, and credit to North Reading football team to keep themselves in this game this long and to give these fans something to be excited about. As you see the players line up, and here's another throw to the left side, and McCullough will just skip out of bounds at the 26 or so. They will spot this where? Maybe the 24. Going to spot it at the 24. They'll need 2 for the first down. Done a nice job preserving the clock here. 5 wideouts in the game. There's the snap, same play. Oh, and Swampscott was ready for it that time. They charged it. You don't want to jump the route too badly there. If they fake that pass out there and then shoot it down the field and you're not in position, that's going to hurt. But they were ready for that one as North Reading throws that play, maybe one or too many times. Well, the game has come to the crescendo moment as the Hornets will look to pull off the improbable against a Swampscott defense that has given up very little in this game. 3rd down and 2. And here's Carucci looking. Now he's going to have to roll. He slips. He throws to the middle, and it's incomplete. Nobody home. And it's 4th down. Circle that. 4th down. And can Swampscott put the game away here? Can North Reading extend the game? That's going to be the big question. 4th down and 2 for the Hornets. And thanks for joining us. We're thrilled to have you for this exciting ride. I'm Salvador Liberto. This is NORCAM, your neighborhood television station, and we're thrilled to be broadcasting this Super Bowl for you between North Reading and Swampscott. Crowds in full throat. 4th down and 2. Wideouts to the right, wideouts to the left, and flags. Carucci took the carry in, probably was close to the 1st down, but let's check the penalty as you get the close-up of the penalty flag. So that'll push it back. That'll make it 4th and about 7. Oh boy. 4th down and 7 for the Hornets. Fourth down, they need 7 yards. Game is over if they can't convert. Swampscott would take over and can run out the clock. And whistles again, and I think Swampscott's going to take a timeout, talk through strategy, and why not? Well, it's certainly been an exciting football game, and we're so happy you're able to join us and watch this. And it's a slice of history if you think about it. This is North Reading's first appearance in this game since 1979. That's 42 years for those of you keeping track at home. And it's been a great resurgence of North Reading football under Coach Ed Blum. They're going to be really good for years to come. The JV team had a spectacular season. So there's a ton of talent in the town. There's a lot of excitement and support for this program. And we said it earlier in the telecast, if you think about all the people that made the trip, they had the fan vans, and folks came and made this trip and supported their team. A much bigger contingent, by the way, for North Reading than Swampscott, which just shows a lot of civic pride and team pride and school pride. And so a lot to be excited about at North Reading, no matter how this game ends up. A tremendous season for the Hornets as they dig in and try to finish strong here. And in my book, they have already finished strong, and they made the stops in this game. This score could easily have been way out of control, but the Hornets kept it manageable and now have themselves a chance, at least, in these waning moments to put the ball at least to midfield or so to give themselves a shot. Here's a 4th down and 7. They have to convert this to stay alive. The team has shown a ton of heart here. Now can they just make one more play to keep it going? Here's the snap. It's going to be a halfback option. Rubino throws it down the field. Oh, he just missed him. Incomplete. Just missed him. Looking for McCullough downfield. But the Big Blue were in coverage and tipped it away. And that is how our contest is going to end, at least the part of the game where the contest was still in doubt. Swampscott has a few plays to run to milk the rest of the clock. But North Reading, a valiant effort. They'll go down 14-7 in this one, in this Super Bowl game against the Swampscott Big Blue. And Swampscott just a little bit better. I'm going to say it's the rushing attack. The rushing attack of Swampscott absolutely dominant in spots today, and just too much for North Reading to handle overall. Lots of yards, and we'll cover some of the stats in just a minute, but Swampscott able to create a lot of space for that rushing attack, and then Xavier Bascon, just the star, breaking lots of tackles, darting free, making lots of plays, and really pushing his team down the field. When other players on his squad weren't necessarily able to. So Cam O'Brien will take the snap and take a knee, and the clock will run, and the teams will congratulate one another. And that's going to be just about it. I'll take one more snap or so. And that will do it. They will not take one more snap. So that will be the end of the game. The final 14-7. Swampscott beats North Reading. You see the Swampscott players run onto the field, congratulate each other. It's got to be a special moment for them. And North Reading, a special season, a fantastic season. They were outstanding all year long. We rattled off some of the scores, some of the dominance that they enjoyed in conference and out of conference play. They won the Thanksgiving game in dramatic fashion against Linfield and played their hearts out today. A tremendous effort to come from 14-0 down to cut that lead in half and then even give themselves a chance by being great on defense, by forcing those turnovers, gave himself a chance on offense. But it just wasn't to be. Swampscott a little bit better tonight here at the cold air at Gillette Stadium. But you have a strong feeling that North Reading is building something sensational. And this is going to be a football team that's going to compete for a very, very long time. We run through just a few of the stats. Rushing Swampscott with Xavier Bascon, 20 carries, 143 yards. He is our NORCAM player of the game. Cam O'Brien, 8 carries, 60 yards. For North Reading, the rushing attack just not where it needed to be tonight. Will Batten, 12 carries, 32 yards. Carucci, 12 carries, 16 yards. Rubino had a carry for 10. McGuire, a carry for 1. And then passing, O'Brien was 11 of 19 for Swampscott, 113 yards. He did throw an interception, but Bascon with the pass and the touchdown in the third quarter to take that 14-0 lead. For North Reading, Carucci was very efficient, a 15 out of 20, 112 yards, did throw 2 interceptions though, and Rubino with 2 passes out of 3 for 70 yards, and he just did miss that last one on the 4th down, the last chance for North Reading to stay in this game. So Swampscott wins the Super Bowl 14-7 over North Reading. This is Salvador Liberto. Thanks for joining us. This is NORCAM. We'll catch you next time.